PARCA Technical Section 6.1 covers HIPAA, high-tech, GDPR, authentication, authorization, confidentiality, and integrity. I'm sure we are all familiar with the HIPAA law. It was passed into law in 1996, and it's a federal law that required the creation of national standards to protect sensitive patient health information from being disclosed without the patient's consent. And patient health information is often abbreviated PHI. The High-Tech Act in 2009 was created to drive the adoption and meaningful use of electronic health records by U.S.-based healthcare providers. Meaningful use means healthcare providers need to show they are using certified EHR technology in a way that can be measured in both quantity and quality. So the High-Tech Act basically says everybody has got to use electronic health records. You can't use paper charts anymore. The General Data Protection Regulation is a EU law. It's a European Union law, and it applies to companies that makes its website or services available to EU citizens, including US companies. So if you're providing a service that Europeans can use, you have to comply with the GDPR, or General Data Protection Regulation law. And it outlines certain obligations organizations must follow, which limit how personal data can be used. It's kind of like HIPAA for Europe, except it's more than just healthcare. You can't share a lot of things about Europeans. Like, for example, you can't collect or share data about race. Authentication deals with the process of identifying an individual, usually based on username and password. So authentication is, are you allowed in my system? If you have a username, password, you can come into my system. If you don't, you cannot come into my PACS system. Authorization deals with the process of granting or denying access to information to an information resource. So once you are authenticated into my system, then you get authorized to see certain things and do certain things, right? So the role of a physician is very different than the role of a clerk. A clerk is going to need access to insurance information to make sure that they're putting your exams with the right insurance. The physician doesn't need to see the insurance for the patient. So authentication lets you in. Authorization determines what you can see in the system and what you can do in the system. Confidentiality ensures that secret information is protected from unauthorized disclosure. It's most often implemented using encryption. So confidentiality means if I don't want you to see this, you can't see this. So what you're allowed to see, you can see. What you're not allowed to see, you can't see. That's what confidentiality means. If it's supposed to be confidential, then not everyone can see it. Integrity is a core component of security that ensures the information is not altered by an unauthorized person. In other words, when we send data back and forth, it shouldn't get altered or changed in the process. If I email you a Word document that says the dog has brown spots, when you open that Word document, it should say the dog has brown spots and not the dog has red spots. If it says the dog has red spots, then the integrity of that data has been compromised. Somebody has messed with my Word document when I left my email and got to your email. So confidentiality, you can see what you're supposed to see. You don't see what you're not supposed to see. Integrity, the data stays unaltered, unchanged in transmission. And so data integrity can be implemented with digital signatures, checksums, hashing, and public and private keys. And that is Section 6.1.